voice every day to the world and to your heart. Open up your eyes and let your spirit start. Say yes to the dreams you hold inside. Let your soul be your guide.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Wednesday Wisdom. Today, we are in for a treat because we have the amazing Aleyna Groves. She is the COO at Groves Capital. Aleyna, thank you so much for joining us today, and we certainly cannot wait to hear your insights and wisdom to be shared with all of us. Aleyna, we'd like to kick it off. You know, we go through life and we learn many, many lessons. And with those lessons comes wisdom that people share with us. It could be from a book, it could be from a podcast, it can be from things our parents taught us as little children. And those little nuggets get applied to how we adjust and grow in our lives. So our first question, and to kick us off here, please share with us, what is a piece of advice or wisdom that you learned that you are now applying to your life?
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for inviting me here. I'm so excited to be a part of the Wednesday Wisdom. And to answer your question, you know, there's a lot of advice that I've gotten through the years, but I will say there's been one statement that has really stood out to me over the last probably 5 or 6 years when I first heard it. And the statement is, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes being upset about it. And that statement has been something that I could apply to my everyday life because it's easy to get triggered by things, right? Instead of looking for triggers, look for glimmers, like we've talked about before. And so that has been a great point where whenever I find my mood changing, or maybe I'm getting a little, angry about something inside, I go, okay, is this going to matter in 5 years? Do I need to spend my entire day being upset about this? Or can I let's allocate 5 minutes, let it have its 5 minutes, and move past it. And so that has been a really great statement that has saved me a lot of heartache and a lot of times where I could have let something ruin my day. But going back to that statement, that's really been a game changer for me.
That is brilliant wisdom. Brilliant, but so hard, right? So hard because so many times when you're dealing with something in the moment, it seems like it's the biggest thing that has ever happened in your life, right? But we all know when you look backwards and you're like, man, why did that seem so monumental? Where now you look back and you're like, that was a blip. That was one little blip in time. It didn't matter 5 years later, but it's a hard lesson for us, right? It's a hard lesson for us to apply at all times because we do take so much into it. So Aleyna, I wanted you to go a little bit deeper so how do you get yourself out of that mindset, right? Because someone will say something or something, you'll read something or something will happen in that moment that we start to get triggered and we start to think this is important. So what's kind of the exercise? I know you process, will this matter? But sometimes our brain doesn't think that logically. Sometimes our emotion comes into it. So I'd love to hear, what do you do to process that?
It's a muscle, right? You don't wake up overnight just going, I'm deciding that I'm not going to let things trigger me anymore. And I'm not going to be upset about the little things anymore. It's something that you have to practice at, and consistency is key. And I think that's really the truth for anything that you do, right? Whether it's your business, your relationship, if you want to lose those last 5 pounds, you got to stay consistent every day. And it's not going to show up because you're consistent 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's got to be something that you wake up with and you are dedicated to following that plan that you set up for yourself. So I think, for me, it really starts in the morning. I make sure that my morning is set up right by being in a good mood. And I think by being in a good mood from the very beginning sets up the rest of your day. And that makes it easier to make those kinds of decisions when you're faced with, man, should I let this destroy my day because someone cut me off, right? Or do I just go, it is what it is and move on, right? Because there's so much more amazing things going on in your life. So I think it starts from the beginning of the day, and it's something that you have to actively think about and practice And before you know it, it becomes a habit. It's no longer something that you have to practice at and try for. It just becomes a habit, and it becomes who you are. It becomes your identity. So that for me has been something I've had to consistently practice at for many years. Not to say that I don't have those moments, right? We do, right? We're all human. But checking yourself and being self-aware is something that no one can take away from you if you practice enough.
Man, and you are on the spectrum of self-actualization. You are very, very high. And you have such a humongous sense of awareness, self-awareness, and I can certainly relate to that. But kudos to you that you have that awareness and you understand. And for everyone listening, I know sometimes hearing this stuff, you're like, yeah. That's great for that person, but do they know what I'm dealing with? I think everyone knows everyone is dealing with something, right? Mm-hmm. Just because we don't necessarily speak out loud, everyone is dealing with whatever that is. And there's a choice. To your point, there's a choice when we wake up of how we start our day. There's a choice of, do we let things sit with us or do we let it go, right? Mm-hmm. And so all of these are those choices that we're making. And now as we're flowing into that, next topic, I know you have a lot of really cool and exciting and new things that you're working on, yourself and at Groves Capital. And I'd love for you to share, give a little sneak peek of some of those great things that's going on over there.
Well, anyone that knows me knows that I have my hands in a million things all the time. I love to stay busy. I love to learn. I love to improve. And that's always been true of, the work here that we're doing at Groves Capital. And that has recently manifested itself into a new company called Groves IQ. So Groves IQ is a mortgage AI company. And I initially developed it because I wanted to provide a solution to my loan officers and to our industry in general. Being in mortgage for 20 plus years, I see a lot of inefficiencies in the way our operation is run. There's a lot of manual work, there's a lot of paperwork, and there's a lot of redundancy when it comes to documents collected, processed, closing, funding, sold, serviced, right? It's a lot of repetitive stuff that go along that entire life cycle. So what I did is I created a tool that will help my loan officers take a lot of the day-to-day, a lot of the manual burdens that they have to do with when it comes to collecting documents and processing documents, and reduces it from 30 steps of manual calls and emails down to only 3 steps. So a true saver for our most important asset, which is our time. So time is something we can't get back. My tool gives it back, and it allows you to just do the things that you love most, which is create the relationships, have the podcast, make sure that you're actually thinking of, hey, I'm going to be in a good mood every day. I don't have to manage my pipeline. They all work together. They all work hand in hand. So I'm so excited. We have, my goodness, a huge wait list. We have enterprise lenders that are signed up for pilots. We have integrations coming with software systems that we all know of. And my MVP product will be ready on October 1st. So I have all of my demos lined up for that. And it's a really exciting time. It gives me like energy to wake up every day and know that I am solving such a big problem for a lot of people. And it's fun, it's fun. And I think when you find that your work is not just work, that it's fun and it's inspiring and you like to be around the people, it makes it that much better. And I feel like people can see that and feel that from you. And it comes across in the energy. And so I'm getting a lot of great positive feedback, and it's just an exciting time. It's just so fun. I love it. I keep saying fun, but I'm like, it is.
And well, number one, never apologize for being excited and happy and thrilled about, right? Like we need more of that. We need more of that. Yes. First off, congratulations, right? That's awesome. We can't wait to see and hear and see, know more about this as time passes by. And listen, I say this all the time for myself, that I've been doing this since I was my entire adult life, I've been in the mortgage industry, right? Yeah. So I wake up every day going, I can't believe how far I've seen our industry come, from seeing in my experience, carbon paper documents, that people were typing on a typewriter, to the first time I made a company get rid of paper files and go digital.
Oh my God,
right?
Yeah.
You have no idea what a struggle that was.
I remember rate sheets coming in the fax machine.
The
That
fax
was crazy.
machine, exactly. To now I wake up and I'm like, this AI is evolving faster than anything any of us have ever seen in our life. And how lucky are we that we get to be part of it, right? Like, I'm so thrilled that no one and anyone listening to this, I mean, this whole, these people will be eliminated and these jobs and this, that's not how we should be thinking. We need to be thinking how we stay aware and educated and how we can integrate this. And you just said it, so that we can spend more time using our personalities and our relationships and our human factor to be able to not waste time on the re-uploading of documents and all that kind of stuff, so that we can go and sit down and have a lunch with our clients or do an educational seminar and try to, all of that. So, Aleyna, I want to go in that direction. For the people that are worried of what is this going to look like in the future with AI coming into the mortgage industry, what are your thoughts and what is your, recommendations for them?
I think that's a wonderful question. And I think a lot of people are, you can look at it two different ways. Either you're scared of it or you're excited. And I think we all know that it's coming either way, right? AI is coming, whether we're excited or scared about it, either way. So if we can look at it in a way where we can complement each other, it's not just tech, it's making humans more efficient using tech, right? So that's the way that I look at it, is how can I use the technology to free up my time to just make me more efficient as a person, as a business owner, as a loan officer, as a lender, right, as a processor. So if you can look at it from that lens, I think you're going to be far ahead of the pack from the people that are maybe shying away from it. I think it's time to embrace it and use it. And especially in our industry where it is still relationship driven, right? An AI can't hold the relationship with the borrowers the way a human can. So if we can just put more time and allocate more time to that relationship part, which is, I think, what we all enjoy doing anyways, right? Then it's really a win-win. So I'm really excited for the future of how AI is transforming the mortgage industry.
I agree. I completely agree. And I'm curious, I want you sharing this wisdom. So we're speaking to originators. Let's speak to originators.
Okay.
What should they be doing, right? Because I'm listening to you and I'm just speaking for myself. I'm obsessed with everything AI. Like, if I'm not listening to a podcast, reading a blog, like I'm obsessed with it because it just makes my mind really think, right? From an originator perspective, what do you think that recommendation is? And it doesn't necessarily even have to be tied to AI. It could be how to be better at the relationship side, right? It could be even that. What would you give them that piece of advice?
AI nowadays can pretty much do anything. I would say if you haven't spent time working inside any of the AI tools, and it could just be the basic ones, right? ChatGPT or Claude or OpenAI, start looking at design tools, start using those tools and just dedicate an hour, maybe 2 hours to just ask it questions, search up what things do, ask it to do anything, create flyers, create marketing materials for you. It's an endless amount of knowledge that it can give you, and you can really learn from it. So I think if we can invest an hour just really digging in and learning how these tools work, you'll come up with additional ideas of how you can apply it towards your business, whether it's marketing, whether it's, stuff for your social media, whether it's, what kind of tools should I use to make my socials look better, or to give cool emails to my clients after they've purchased the house. Like, there's a million things that you could use these tools for. You just don't know unless you start digging into it and just start really doing that kind of research yourself, right? You can only hear so much, but I feel like getting in there and actually doing the work is where you're going to see the most.
I think that is a great recommendation. And if they're like anything like the two of us, once you do it, you almost can't stop. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. So I think that's
exactly.
a great, because like you said, you can't be afraid of it, right? This is happening. This isn't going away. This isn't slowing down, so embrace it. Have fun with it, right?
Yeah,
like, don't take it so serious. You don't need to go out and figure out how to program large language models. Like, you don't need to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's tools out there that would do that for you. Like, there's this app called Lovable, if you've heard of it. You can build your own app on it. I mean, literally the world's your oyster. And it can even be outside of mortgage. Like, as a mom, I'm a mom too. So I think about things like, what can I do to help? I actually had an idea, and I put it on the Lovable app about doing something for my kids. I was like, how do I censor these games and have an app that will then alert me as the parent that they're going into these games or someone's chatting? And so I had this concept that I used ChatGPT for. I said, hey, build me out the language I need to type into Lovable. And so I put it into Lovable, and it actually built this really cool app. Not to say that I'm going to use it or market it, but it was really great to see how my idea could come to life by using these tools that are available to you. So, for me, it gives me inspiration, and I just love seeing ideas, because one idea will generate a new one and a new one, and who knows what the 10th idea will be. Maybe it's your next business, maybe it's the next way to get the client. So there's just so much opportunity from just digging in and using the tools that are available.
Well, it is completely unlimited, to your point. That is for sure. There is no cap on any of it. And that leads me to my final question that I love to ask my guests. And this is, speaking of unlimited, I believe that when we say things out loud, we're planting seeds. Okay?
Yep.
So I love to ask every guest, if I had the magic wand where you knew you couldn't fail, there was absolutely unlimited resource to obtain something, what would you do? What would that goal be? And it doesn't have to be tied to the mortgage business or work. It could be personal, it could be something. But what would you do if you had an unlimited goal that 100% you knew would happen?
I'm very much committed to my work goals right now. So I'm going to use this opportunity to fully manifest the work goals that I already have aligned. It's in my future. Just like you said, your words are so powerful. What you say has meaning, it has energy. So I'm going to answer this question because that is the direction that I am fully focused into. So if I had unlimited potential, which I do, and if I could reach any goal that I ever want to, which I will, right, using words like this, it would be that my new company, Groves IQ, will be the main AI infrastructure for all of mortgage lending that allows lenders, brokers, account executives, and processors to free their time. My system will actually process and verify conditions, and it will even help on the funding side. So there's a lot more, of course, that goes into that. But my ultimate goal is that it would be the ultimate AI infrastructure layer for all lenders, wholesale, direct, and retail.
I love it.
That's it.
And so it is. I will say
and so
that.
It is.
And I know you and I understand that.
Yes, exactly. It's crazy. It's literally your words. I feel like it starts in your mind, right? Like, what you think becomes an emotion, and you feel that, and then you emit that as a frequency. And the same thing goes with what you're saying, right?
And then it's drawn to you. It's drawn to you. And remember, it's not just the good stuff that's drawn to you. It's whatever energy or whatever you're putting out there. For everyone that listened to how Aleyna said that, she was saying, I will, she was choosing her words very carefully. She wasn't saying, I think, or it might, or, she was saying it very clearly that she's seeing it. She knows what the picture looks like in the future when it happens. She felt it. She already felt what that feels like when that occurs at that moment. And that is the power of the words that we choose. And guys, just understand, Aleyna and I didn't know each other until maybe, I don't know, a few weeks ago. Okay?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I know.
Somehow we were drawn to each other. We don't know why. We have no idea how, but it just happened. And I will tell you, for everyone out there, I'm sure we're going to continue to know each other and be in each other's world. And so continue to do that. Do that in your communities. Do that within our industry. Like, continue to make new relationships, because again, that's where the power really lies. And then of course, use the great AI to take away the things that were taking up your time, that doesn't allow you to put that time in on the relationship. Aleyna, thank you so much for taking the time. How can people learn more about Groves IQ?
Thank you so much, Laura. You can go to grovesiq.com. So my last name, GROVESIQ.com. You can also follow me on LinkedIn. I'm dropping lots of great knowledge, lots of just great fun posts and motivational posts. So just would love to connect with all of you. And thank you so much, Laura, for having me on. This is always so much fun. I love your energy. It's like inspires me the rest of the day. It's incredible.
Right back out you. We are kindred spirits, and thank you so much for saying yes, and keep shining brightly, my friend.
Thank you so much.